It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion. This is for Tuesday, the 11th of June. I'm Michael Groff. The big story around here, of course, will be the heat. Temperatures not only above average, but up into the excessive heat range today through Thursday. And then we'll see temps back off on Friday as an upper level low passes through the area. But then the heat returns for this weekend. There is, of course, some forecast uncertainty along the way, which we will talk about because that's part of what we do here, and so much else to get into. But first, before we do that, here's the almanac from yesterday. 109 degrees the afternoon high. 80 was the morning low, obviously above those averages of 103 and 77, and 4 degrees shy of the record for the date, set all the way back in 2022. As we take a look outside right now, here at 3:43 a.m. Who the heck would be up at this hour? Well, of course, your nerdy weather guy. That's who. It's taking a look out there. Right now, we've got mostly clear sky, 88 degrees, dew point 34. So yes, it is warm. It is dry. 15% the relative humidity. Wind from the west at 3, and the barometer to 9.77 inches and steady. The upper level weather pattern across the nation right now features a trough that is over there across eastern Canada and the eastern part of the country. But for us, yeah, you know the deal. High pressure's in control. We've got this little upper low that's to the southwest of us off the Baja, and that will be something of a factor in our weather going forward through the rest of the week, bringing a small amount of moisture into the region. Isolated showers and storms over the higher terrain, maybe somewhat better chances by the time we get to Friday. But that is not going to have much of an implication on us other than to give us some breezes on Friday and somewhat cooler temperatures. And some high clouds around at times too. The watch warning map, well, obviously the heat is the issue here for the Southwest. We've got the excessive heat warnings that extend from around El Paso. Well, those are still excessive heat watches, but they are expected to be upgraded there. We've got excessive heat warnings for southern Arizona, including the greater Phoenix area. That's from 10 a.m. this morning through 8 p.m. on Thursday. And those extend up into northwest Arizona, the Mojave Desert, the Las Vegas Valley, and, of course, in California. The heat will be on there. South Florida, there's a flash flood watch around Miami and West Palm Beach. Obviously, some pretty heavy rain expected down there. We do have an air quality alert, I should also mention, and that is through 9 p.m. tonight. The convective outlook for today, you've got that risk of severe storms across West Texas, Central Texas, as well as portions of New Mexico and Colorado, and up around Des Moines, Minneapolis, St. Paul, La Crosse, and Eau Claire, Wisconsin, that threat for some severe weather. Precipitation outlook, this is valid through Tuesday morning of next week. Rain amounts in Phoenix, probably nothing, although you notice a little color is showing up on this graphic now, even down here in parts of Maricopa County. So we'll have to talk about this. I really don't think we're going to see anything here, but the chance is non-zero for rain later this week. Now, across northern, northeast Arizona, generally rain amounts under 1/10 of an inch. Regardless of what happens, we're not expecting any significant precipitation. And we'll talk about what's going on with this weather pattern in more detail. To do that, we explore the models. Here we go, the GFS. This is the OZ run, and it's valid at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Upper level low to the southwest of us, high pressure otherwise in control here over the southwest, troughing for the east. And down at the surface for today, sunny sky and hot. How hot? How about 107 to 111? Yeah, it's pretty hot. And for tonight, mostly clear sky, lows mid-70s to mid-80s. Tomorrow, it's more the same. Mostly sunny, a few high clouds at times, and hot. Highs around 108 to 112. And we expect the same thing more or less on Thursday. However, more high clouds begin to work their way in as that upper low begins to move off to the northeast. And a few showers and thunderstorms could be possible over the higher terrain of northern and eastern Arizona. Now, as we go to Thursday night and Friday, that system comes on through, and we do see some widely scattered showers and thunderstorms over the Four Corners region and northern Arizona. And I suppose there's an extremely outside chance. It's not even going to be put in the forecast. The chance is less than 5% that we could see an isolated storm here over the lower deserts. But at this point, we're not going to mention that. We're going to keep that out of there. But the guys over at the WPC have put in that very small 1 or 2/100ths of an inch of rain all the way down into parts of Maricopa County. And I suppose conceptually it is possible, but the moisture is going to be pretty limited. The subcloud layer will be relatively dry. We just don't see any significant moisture to warrant any meaningful chances of rain here. Even across northern Arizona, we're not going to see much precipitation. Storms will mostly be high-based convection, and that'll produce wind, lightning, and that potential to spark off some wildfires. And we really, really don't want to see that, especially with the very hot temperatures we expect to continue. Speaking of, despite the fact that high temperatures will be down several degrees on Friday, around 101 to 105, 106, somewhere in that range, by Saturday, high pressure builds back in and we warm it right back up. Highs approaching 110 degrees. Same thing on Sunday. Highs likely anywhere from about 107 to 111. And again, sunny sky and dry air will be with us. Monday, not much change. Temperatures might back off a degree or two, but overall, we still expect above average temperatures to continue into next week. But things show a bit of uncertainty as we go to a week from today. This is Tuesday, the 18th. And we have this trough over the Pacific Northwest. Now, unlike yesterday's solution, which showed a deeper upper low off the coast, this shows a slightly shallower but broader trough across much of the West. And look, upper heights here across Arizona down around, well, for us in south central Arizona, around 582 decameters, between 579 and 582 decameters. If that was right, afternoon highs may not make it to the century mark. We'd probably be down in the 90s. Now, of course, conditions would still be dry because this trough, any dynamics and moisture far away from us, we'd be under southwesterly flow. But the fact is, if this solution were to be right, temperatures would be way down here. It'd be breezy too. But let's look at the European solution. Same time, this is next Tuesday, the 18th. It's got kind of more in line with what yesterday's 12Z GFS was showing, and that is this upper low off of the Pacific Northwest coast. However, it does have heights down here a bit, around 585 to 588 decameters, which would mean temperatures closer to seasonal normals, maybe a degree or two shy of them. Either way, temperatures do look to trend down a little bit for the first part of next week if these solutions pan out. But then going out 10 days back to the GFS, this is Thursday the 20th. Again, troughing an upper low there off the Pacific Northwest coast. Heights here are not, well, they're not looking good. They're coming back up. We got that 594 ridge centered across New Mexico, and the 591 contours right over us. So afternoon highs would once again be surging back into about the 106 to 110 bracket if that verifies. And again, no sign of any monsoon moisture and no sign of any real intrusion of moisture into the southwest in that kind of a setup. Now, speaking of moisture, this is rainfall off the GFS ensemble. This goes out to the 25th of June, and you've got 17 of the 31 members that have measurable rain over the next 2 weeks. Now, only a handful of, not even a handful of them have it coming in here later this week. Most of them are out there at and beyond the 10-day time frame, which is interesting because there is a section of the GFS ensemble members that want to build the ridge more toward the central Rockies and start bringing in some southeast flow, kind of a monsoonal setup. But realistically speaking, it's too early for that. We don't anticipate that happening. But obviously, we're going to watch model trends. Again, there's a clear divergence here between the GFS and the European. The European has a few members that are on board with that, but for the most part, it stays dry. We don't see any meaningful precipitation over the next 2 weeks. And again, that is to be expected here in early to mid, even into late June. We usually don't see much in the way of precipitation, especially not here in south central Arizona. Understand, monsoon season, technically by the new definition that was laid out 15 years ago, starts the 15th of June and runs through September 30th. But here in Phoenix, we typically don't start to see monsoon thunderstorms until at least the first week of July or so. Hopefully that does happen, and hopefully the monsoon is active. But as we have laid out here on previous videos, the odds, the probabilities are skewed toward a drier monsoon. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, just means the probability is skewed that way. All right, looking at temperatures off the national blend of models. I mean, look, there's no way to sugarcoat it. It's going to be hot. Temperatures will be around 110, 112, 113 today, tomorrow, into Thursday, backing off a bit on Friday, and then more or less highs will stay around or above seasonal averages. Next week could be a little bit more interesting, might be a little cooler than what's displayed here, particularly if the GFS pans out as shown. And that is going to do it for this extraordinarily early edition of the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion. My next video is due back here tomorrow morning. That feels like an eternity away from now. If you enjoy these videos, be sure to subscribe, like, share, click that notification bell, leave those comments, questions, and suggestions. I'm doing this without coffee, I'm letting you know. And if you really like what we do here, then you can click that thanks icon below the video here on YouTube. Make those monetary contributions, $2, $5, $896,778. Anything like that, all appreciated. Or you can donate directly via PayPal. groffshow@gmail.com is the PayPal address, GROFFshow@gmail.com for PayPal. The executive producer of the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion is my one and only, the sweetest of all time, the Asian sensation, and very patient to listen to me blather on about weather while she's trying to wake up. Hey, I know it's too early for this kind of energy, but talking about my Michelle, check her out. Check out, of course, she is the sole proprietor of sweetchildaz.com.org and the Facebook page of the same name, Sweet Child Arizona. Yeah, I remembered the banner. Come on. You'd think I'd forget that, except for the 15 times I've forgotten it before. There it is, sweetchildaz.com.org, the Facebook page of the same name, Sweet Child Arizona. Please check that out. Check out her videos. All Michelle-related stuff linked up down in the description. And it's not just Michelle-related stuff. It's other stuff, too, like our streaming station. It is called KMGX. We play a ton of music and have a lot of fun there. 6 decades of music, literally thousands and thousands and thousands of songs that are all there, played every day. There's just a lot of fun, so I hope you check that out, too. All right. That's it. I thank you guys so much for watching. Really do appreciate it. Please be safe, stay cool, stay hydrated out there, and have yourselves a beautiful Tuesday.